Um, the second part of cells or cell-like bodies in blood is white blood cells. The white blood cell is also known as leukocytes. The leukocyte word is made up of two words, leuko and cytes. As we know that word cytes mean cell and leuko mean white. So literally leukocytes mean white blood cells. The white blood cells, they are colorless because they do not contain any pigments. In the red blood cells, we know that hemoglobin is present, and because of the presence of hemoglobin, red blood cells are red in color. While in the case of leukocytes or white blood cells, no pigment, no hemoglobin is present. Because of this reason, the white blood cells, they are colorless. About 7,000 to 8,000 white blood cells, they are present per millimeter cube in the blood. When we talk about the size of red blood cells, they are larger in size as compared to red blood cells, and their lifespan, it ranges from months to even years depending on the body's need. For example, white blood cells, they function as the main agent in the body's defense system. In other words, you can say that white blood cells are actually the soldiers or the military of the body. So whenever any pathogen attacks the body, they are going to kill that pathogen or that germ. So they are our soldiers. The red blood cells, they are not only confined to the blood vessels, but they can also migrate out into the tissue fluid. Here in this diagram, you can see this here is the blood vessel. Here you can see this green part here is the white blood cell. In this diagram, the white blood cells, they are in the blood vessel, but as I said that they will not only confined in the blood vessels, they will also enter into the tissue fluid. So what will happen, these blood cells from the blood vessel, they will enter into the surrounding tissues, so they can move in and out of the blood vessel. The white blood cells, they further divided into two parts. One is granulocytes, the other one is agranulocytes. When we talk about the granulocytes, granular word means that grains are present. So the granulocytes, they have granular cytoplasm or the cytoplasm which contains small grains. Here you can see these dots, they are actually the grains, and because of the presence of these grains, this cytoplasm is granular cytoplasm and this cell is granulocyte. They are formed in the red bone marrow. While in case of agranulocyte, A means absent, granulocytes mean grains. So the cytoplasm, it does not contain any grains, or agranulocytes, they contain clear cytoplasm. Normally the agranulocytes, they are formed in the lymphoid tissues such as lymph nodes, thymus, tonsils and spleens. Let's study their further composition. The granulocytes are further divided into neutrophils, eosinophils and basophils. Talking about neutrophils, here in this diagram you can see this is neutrophil. How you can identify the neutrophil? Because it contains multi-lobed nucleus. Here in this diagram you can see 1, 2, 3 different lobes of nucleuses are present, and we said that this is granulocyte. You can see here the cytoplasm, it contains the grain. So this is the identification point of neutrophils, that they are granulocytes. Along with this, they contain multi-lobed nucleus. Their function is that they will destroy the small particles such as bacteria, foreign cells and cancer cells by phagocytosis. Now when we talk about the phagocytosis, it means that they are going to engulf. For example, this is neutrophil, this is some foreign cell or bacteria. What will they do? They are going to just engulf in this first process, and then like this they are going to engulf that bacteria or foreign particles, and during this process they will die, and after their death they are going to contribute to the white substances which is known as pus seen at the infection site. For example, sometimes when you got cut, you see that white pus type thing has formed at that site. This is because at that site the neutrophils, they fight with the foreign particles or the bacteria which were trying to gain entry inside the body, and during this process they died, and now they are contributing in the formation of that white particle which is known as pus. Second type of white blood cell is eosinophil. Eosinophil are also granulocyte. Here you can see the cytoplasm contains grains. How you can differentiate the eosinophils from the neutrophils? Because the eosinophils, they contains bilobed nucleus. You can see one and the second, two lobes are formed, so this is eosinophil. Eosinophil function is that it breaks inflammatory substances and also kill the parasites. For example, during some seasons, people, they get allergic to some substances, so whenever that allergen, it will gain entry inside the body, these eosinophils, they are going to just destroy that allergen and protect you from the allergic reaction. The last type of granulocyte is basophils. Here in this diagram you can see basophil, they contains grains, and because of this they are granulocytes. How you can differentiate it from neutrophils and eosinophils? Because the nucleus is bi or trilobed. You can see here, this here is basophils. The purpose of basophil is that they will prevent blood clotting by producing heparin. They also produce histamine that participate in the allergic reactions and in response to tissue damage and microbial invasion. So whenever any allergic reaction is taking place or some tissue is damaged or microbes, they are taking entry inside the body, it is going to produce histamine. Now, talking about the agranulocytes, there are two types of agranulocyte. One is monocytes, the other one is lymphocytes. The monocyte, here you can see its cytoplasm is clear, no granules or the grains, they are present. The nucleus of monocytes, it's shaped from round to lobed. You can see here the nucleus shape. They produces macrophages which engulf germs by phagocytosis. They function in defense, so whenever any pathogen, it will gain entry inside the body, what they are going to do, they are going to produce macrophages. So these macrophages, they are going to attack on the germs, and by the help of phagocytosis, they are going to destroy that germs. Their lifespan is about 10 to 20 hours, and then after that they will enter in the tissues and they will become the tissue macrophages. The last one is lymphocytes. Here in this diagram you can see they are the lymphocytes. Their cytoplasm is clear, and their distinguishing feature is that their nucleus nearly fills the cell. You can see the nucleus is very large in size and the cytoplasmic content is very low. Their function is in immune response and they produce antibodies. There are two types of lymphocytes, B lymphocytes and T lymphocytes. So they both function in the defense of the body by producing antibodies. Their lifespan ranges from months to even years depending upon the need of the body. For example, when you get vaccinated, what happened that during the vaccination process, some dead germs, they are entered into the body. When the dead germs, they enter inside the body, these lymphocytes, they are activated, and in response to that dead germ, they are going to produce the antibodies, and that antibodies, they will stay inside your body, and whenever the real or active germ, it will take entry inside the body, these antibodies, they are going to destroy that particular germ.